So, first of all, welcome to this webinar with the University of Skövde. My name is Karin Jonegård and I work here at the International Office as the International Coordinator. And I have my colleagues here and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So, Sarah, go ahead. Oh, Sarah, I think you froze. Sarah? Oh, because you can see me, so I don't think she froze. Yeah, so please, we'll wait for her to get back. So, Martin, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
All right, my name is Martin Lundgren. I am the program coordinator for the master's program in privacy, information security, and cybersecurity.
Tove.
Yeah, my name is Tove Heldin, and I'm a senior lecturer here at the informatics department or school, and I'm the program coordinator for the two data science master's programs.
And Randy.
Hello, my name is Reddy. I'm a student ambassador. I just graduated from the University of Skövde I had a master's in data science, and I'm here to give you my insights for the long journey I had in Skövde.
Perfect, thank you. And we had Sarah here, but something happened with her computer. She will join us directly. You never know with the internet. We're sitting she's sitting in the room closely by, so I'm pretty sure it will be solved really soon. So this is the agenda for today. First, we're going to we will give you some insights about the webinar. And we will try to make this webinar as informative for you as possible so you can make an informed decision when you're applying for our university. First, we'll talk about Sweden and our town. And then, Sarah, do you want to continue? I just said that we would talk about Sweden and our town. So please. As well, our town Skövde as well is introduce you to our university.
I got kicked out of Zoom. I don't know why. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes. So, do you want to continue? I was just talking a bit about that. We first talk about Sweden and our town, and Skövde as well to introduce you to our university. Do you want to continue?
Of course. Did you guys hear me introduce myself before, or was I kicked out before then?
You were kicked out before that.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Larsson. I also work here at the University of Skövde as an international coordinator. So me and Karin work very closely together. So yeah, welcome to this webinar. And I'll continue talking about the agenda now. And let's hope Zoom cooperates and does not kick me out again. Okay, fingers crossed. So anyway, you told them that we were going to talk about our town Skövde as well as our beautiful university here. And after that, you guys will get a chance to talk to the program directors or program coordinators and ask them questions about the program. And we'll also have a Q&A session later on at this webinar at the very end. So all of your questions about like scholarships and how to apply, things like that, we're going to save that for the end. So just post all of those questions in the Q&A. And for the program coordinators, we'll keep to like program specific questions, just so you guys know that. We'll also talk a little bit about student life here in Sweden, tuition, living costs, scholarships, and all of those things you guys are wondering about. You'll get to meet our student ambassador, Reddy, who's here today with us. We're very excited to hear his story. He's going to tell you about what it's like to study here. He is a fellow student of one of the programs that we're talking about here today. So he can definitely tell you what it's really like to study here in Skövde. Finally, after you've heard all of this, you'll definitely want to know how to apply, right? So we'll tell you how to apply to our university. We'll go through that process with you so you can be certain that you're making the right moves when you're applying, because that can be a little bit tricky if you've never done it before. And like I said, if you have questions, we will leave them for the end. So we will have a Q&A session and answer all your questions. And I also just want to say that we're using QR codes for a lot of this presentation. So keep your phones ready in case you want to take a photo.
Yes, so in case
any QR code that you want to come back to later. If recording is successful, we'll also upload it later. I can tell you for sure that mine is not going to be successful now, but Karin, hopefully yours is. So do you want to tell us a little bit about Sweden then, Karin?
Yes, I would love to do that. And now I'm not going to be very typical Swedish because I'm going to brag. Because if we're going to come here, we need to brag about all the amazing things about living in Sweden, studying here at the University of Skövde. So we're not going to be lagom. Sarah is going to explain what lagom means. And then you know why I have not been lagom talking about this. So first of all, we might be a little nation, but we have done quite a big impact. So if you see all these things, there are inventions. And the good thing about them is, of course, that they're all Swedish. So you can just see here, for example, this is Spotify, Bluetooth, Tetra Pak, pacemaker, all Swedish inventions. And one of the most famous one is the one that we call dynamite. And it was invented by this guy called Alfred Nobel. And I think most of you know where I will be heading because we have the Nobel Prize. And the Nobel Prize is so famous. Everyone knows that. You will come here and you will win a prize because you have been a very successful researcher. And what is so cool about the Nobel Prize is that there are so many Swedish people or people with a Swedish connection that has won the prize. Just to mention some people that has received the prize, been awarded the prize lately. One of them is Svante Pääbo. He got it like 3 years ago, and he is a Swedish person. And another one who won the Nobel Prize was Emmanuel Charpentier. She won it together with Jennifer A. Doudna. The thing with Emmanuel Charpentier was she won it in 2020, was that she conducted a lot of her research here in Sweden. Not at this university, unfortunately, but up in the north. So I think the reason why we have so many successful researchers that are either Swedish or have been doing their research here in Sweden, that we invest quite a lot of our GDP into research as well as innovation. And that is quite likely the reason why Sweden is one of the world innovation leaders. So yes, but the whole word I was talking about, Sarah, at the beginning when I said I wasn't humble and I was saying, oh, I'm not being lagom. What does lagom mean?
Yes, what does lagom mean? I'm sure you're all thinking about that right now because if you come to Sweden, that is probably one of the first words that is Swedish that you will actually learn because we do use it quite a lot here. Lagom means not too little, not too much, just the right amount. And I don't think it translates really to any other language. I think it's pretty specific for Swedish. And Skövde, where we are, is just that. It's lagom. And in this map, you can see why it is the exact lagom location because it's right in between the two biggest cities in Sweden, Stockholm and Gothenburg, that you might have heard of before. And it's also almost right perfectly in between the two biggest cities of our neighboring countries, Oslo in Norway and Copenhagen in Denmark. So it's a very lagom place to live and a lagom place to get around to neighboring cities as well. And if we go to the next picture or slide, you can see how Skövde really captures the feeling of lagom, both in nature and city life. And I think my background picture right here also tells the story of that quite well, because you can see the university here, we're right in the city, but up here, let me point over here, we have a little ski slope right in the center of our town. And this is our mountain Billingen, which you can also see in the upper right or lower right corner here on the PowerPoint. And Billingen is a very lagom mountain. It is around 300 meters high. So if you're from like Austria or Switzerland maybe, or Nepal, thinking of a mountain, you're probably thinking of something higher than 300 meters. This is probably a hill to you guys, but to us, this is a mountain and we're super proud of it. We love it there. A lot of students also love it. There's a lot of activities to do. You can go hiking, skiing, running, or just like hanging out with your friends, having a barbecue, which is always fun to do, of course. We also have a lot of history in our region. To monastery in Varnhem. It's so beautiful. It's around 1,000 years old, and it's the perfect lagom, you know, modern life meets like ancient history that you can really discover, like the old kings of Sweden and all of that history here in our surrounding area. So definitely a very lagom spot to live for sure. But I also want to do a little bit of bragging, honestly, because it's not fun being lagom all the time, right?
Yeah.
So if you go to the next slide, I'm going to tell you why Skövde is definitely not lagom. Skövde is actually the best student city in Sweden right now. And you don't even have to take our word for it, even though we think this, of course. We actually won the Swedish Student City of the Year 2025, given out by the Swedish National Union of Students. And we were given this award this year because of our nice welcoming of students, both national and international, the contacts that our students have with the business and the public sector here in Skövde, and also because of our increased availability for housing for our students. So we're definitely super proud to have received this award. It's such a nice award, and we've been celebrating this all year, basically. And another fun thing is that this is actually not the first time we won this award. It's actually the second. So I think that really proves that Skövde is the best student city in Sweden right now. So, Karin, do you want to tell us a little bit about our university? I talked a little bit about history earlier, but you are definitely the history nerd of the group, so go for it.
And you are the ski nerd. That's why
Yeah.
she keeps on talking about it. She's amazing at skiing. Yes, of course, I can do that. So, the University of Skövde was established in 1977 by an act of the Swedish Parliament. We're a public institution. The university is a government agency under the Swedish Ministry of Education and Research. And what I like so much with these pictures is that you can see that our university is this beautiful fusion between old and new. So we have like old military buildings, and we also have, of course, new buildings, but all of them are updated with new decor and technology, of course. And the best thing is that we have so great outdoor facilities. So you can go out if you're going to do like a group work, or if you just want to study, and you can plug in your computer and you can sit there and work. Perhaps not during the winter, the snow, but basically all the other parts of the year. So it is really amazing. And Sarah, do you want to just give us some short information about the university?
Of course, yes. This is quite specific, but I'll just give you a quick idea of how big our university is, basically. So right now we have 11,558 students. We have 495 staff, and 2/3 of those is actually academic staff. We have more than 60 nationalities at this point at our campus, 24 international programs, more than 130 partner universities in more than 30 countries, 450 plus incoming international students yearly, and 90 outgoing exchange students. So you definitely will not be alone if you come to us as an international student. There's a lot of you guys here, just so you guys know. Yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about the location of the university, Karin?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, you can see here that the campus is basically embedded in a garden. Basically, there's so much beautiful flowers because, as you can see here, the blue line is indicating where the university is, and then the green line indicates where the Skövde Science Park is, and it keeps on growing all the time. And the pink line indicates where the shared facilities are. So the left part belong to the university, and the right part to the Skövde Science Park. And it's so great with this by sharing the same facilities that you can meet up at lunch and sit and discuss different types of ideas. So when we talk about the Skövde Science Park, I will get back to that later on, but it means that we have a lot of businesses here, and even larger companies have also an office here due to this close relationship between the university and the surrounding business community. And the University of Skövde is also a very specialized university. So, for example, we have 5 schools. So we have the School of Bioscience, the School of Engineering Science, the School of Health Sciences, the School of Business, and the School of Informatics. And now I've been talking a bit, so now I'm just going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to let Tove and Martin talk, because now you're going to meet the program directors.
Perfect. Should I start, Martin?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. Let's see if I can share my screen then. You have to allow me.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
And while we're waiting for that, I can just say that if you guys have questions for Martin or for Tove, we will have a Q&A right after their presentation is done. So just leave them in the Q&A and we'll get to them shortly.
Perfect. Can you see my slides?
They look great.
Perfect, thanks. As I said before, maybe we have new listeners here right now. So my name is Tove Heldin, and I'm a senior lecturer in computer science at the University of Skövde. And I'm also the program coordinator for the 2 data science master's programs that we have here at the university. So I just want to start with giving you a brief description of what actually a data scientist do. Because a data scientist, as we see it, is a person who knows how to collect large amounts of data, often from several sources and with various characteristics, and analyzes this data with the help of different methods. And often one is looking for patterns and trends in the data, which can help companies evolve in different ways. For example, which information must the company gather and analyze, and how can these analyses aid the company to know what to pursue in the future, for example. So as such, a data scientist often collaborates with the company's IT department and the heads of the company in order to make such findings. And in order to do so, you will need to be good at using statistics and different data analysis tools and methods, and to use different programming languages as well as frameworks for handling large amounts of data. So a various set of skills is needed, such as statistics and modeling, data management, programming, machine learning, and also visualization. And some companies, they seek a person who knows all of this, whereas others seek for specialists within, for example, data analysis, machine learning, and programming, and so on. And data science has been around for some time now and is heavily marketed in the US, but now this type of competence is sought for all over the world. And since around 2012, data scientist jobs have been ranked as the top 3 jobs to pursue by American recruiting companies such as Glassdoor in terms of the number of job openings, the salary, as well as how the people working within this area is content with their job or not. And this trend is not likely to change. And data science at the University of Skövde has a holistic view of data science. And we have 4 core themes, you can say, which is courses in programming, data analysis, visualization, and also decision support. And this picture shows an overview of both the 1-year program and the 2-year program. So the blue courses are marked for the 2-year master here. And during the first year, the students first take a course called Introduction to Data Science, where you will be presented with a general overview of the field and give you some hands-on experience of data science in practice. And you will be tasked with solving some common data science problems with the help of Python. And in parallel, you will take a course in artificial intelligence, where AI techniques for decision support is in focus, as well as the ethics of AI in the 21st century. Thereafter, you will take a course in data mining, where you will learn the theory and application of using different data analysis techniques. And then in the second semester, you will take a course in big data programming, where you will learn how to use different paradigms and tools for handling large amounts of data. And in the visual data analysis course, you will learn how to best visualize data with the help of different tools that you can use. And then the first year is ended with either a thesis work worth 15 credits for those taking the 1-year master, or a project work for those taking the 2-year master. And here you are free to dig deeper into a theme of data science of your own choosing and collaborate with a company if you would like to. And during the second year, you will take on courses where you will be able to apply your knowledge of data science in different areas. So, for example, you will take a course in explainable AI, where you will learn how to use common methods to explain your machine learning results to a decision maker, as well as how to use various prediction methods in the predictive analytics course. In the information fusion course, you will learn how to fuse data from different sources and how to deal with uncertain data. And in the business intelligence course, you will have a chance to dig deeper into the area of business intelligence and how a data scientist can aid a company evolve. And in the last semester, you will do a larger thesis work of your own choosing. Many of our courses include smaller project work where you'll be able to dig deeper into a subject of your own choosing, enabling you to focus your studies already from the beginning of the program if you would like to, if you have particular interests. To be eligible to the program, you will need a bachelor in any subject. However, it is of importance that you have good knowledge of programming and math or statistics. So courses in these subjects are also required. And please note that we only accept university credits, not online courses like Coursera courses and the like, since we cannot judge their quality in the same way as university credits. And also, since the teaching language is English, you might also need to prove your English skills when applying, such as using these TOEFL tests and so on. However, different countries have different rules, so please have a look at the universityadmissions.se. The data science master's programs are run by the Skövde Artificial Intelligence Lab, which is the research group at the university, where I'm also part of, with around 9 researchers. And our main focus is research on data analysis, explainable AI, and decision support. And we collaborate with a lot of different companies, such as AstraZeneca and Volvo. So there are good opportunities to, for example, perform your projects or thesis courses in close collaboration with our industrial partners. As a university, we also have strong contacts to other universities, especially in Europe. So on this slide, I have listed some of the collaborations that we have that might be of special interest for the data science master's programs, since these are well-known universities and also for some similar but also complementary courses. So if you're interested, there are also possibilities for our students to study abroad. And in this slide, which is my last slide, I just want to provide you with some contact information to me, the study counselor, our admissions office, our international office, and also to our student representative, Reddy. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much. Martin, do you want to share your presentation?
No, of course. Let's see if I can grab the screen.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yes, so we will start really soon. And yes, perfect. Everything works.
Yeah, believe it or not. All right, for those of you who just joined, short presentation about me. I'm a senior lecturer at the School of Informatics, and I'm also the program coordinator for our PICS program, or Privacy, Information Security, and Cybersecurity. But that is kind of a mouthful, so we just say PICS as an acronym for the program. So a little bit of a background why we started this program. I can't remember for sure. I think we've been running it now for about 5 years or so. But it will come as no surprise for most of us here today that, I mean, society is modernizing more and more, and we are becoming more and more reliant on being able to share information between each other over vast distances and automate different processes. And that goes for everything from our laptops, having the Zoom meeting here for today, for example, but also really tangible kind of things like steering dams and bridges and all kinds of stuff remotely. It just makes society a little bit more efficient if it works. And that if it works is really the cornerstone to why we started this master's program in the first place. Because ensuring that we can actually rely on these services and sharing information over the internet, for example, in a secure fashion requires us not only to ensure that malicious actors like hackers and so on can't disturb them, but it also builds on that we can protect these services and build them in a secure fashion and manage and govern them over time to make sure that they are running smoothly, that we are certain that there is no manipulation going on here or no disruption or something like that can harm society or the services that we are trying to host. So in this master's program, then you will actually learn how to sort of develop, shape, and become an integral part of this future modernization and digitalization of society. And some of you might wonder then, okay, but is there a lot of jobs in this field in the future after I have graduated from a program like this? And yeah, I would say definitely. I had a quick look here at the sort of shortcomings of this particular the role of security globally. And currently, we are roughly 4 million professionals short in the world. And by 2030, it is estimated to be a shortage of around 85 million workers. So I would say, yeah, if you're interested in this particular topic, there most likely and most definitely will be a need for this particular type of skill. But this particular type of skill is also a little bit unfair because it also sort of suggests that it is something very, easily defined and comprehensible what security means. But the thing is that security is a very, very broad topic and subject. And it might mean different things for me as it does to someone else. For somebody else, security might be in cryptography, whilst to somebody else, it might mean network security or whatever. So security is extremely broad. And depending on what master's program you're looking into, most of them specialize in a particular topic and deep dives into that. What we try to do here in the PICS program is to be a little bit more unique in the sense that we try to bridge both the sort of the soft sciences where you have like managerial expertise. How do you go about organizing security in businesses, in organizations, so that you are working systematically and maturing as you need in your business, and also taking into consideration the technical aspects, technical features for protecting data, for example, methods for discovering and stopping data packages that are containing damaging files, viruses, malware, and so on, as well as looking into some more specific areas of technology like IoT and so forth to see how we can secure them. And if all of this sounds interesting to you, you're probably the sort of the target audience that we are looking for. So students who typically join our master's program is students with a background in IT or similar, like information systems or so forth, that are interested in learning more about information security and cybersecurity. The formal requirements we have for joining this master's program is that you should have a bachelor's degree within IT or mostly within IT. I think the threshold we have is for having at least 90 credits ECTS in IT-related courses. And just like Tove said, you also need English proficiency here. Exactly what that means for you in your country, you can look at the university admissions website, but it usually means that you need to have some proof of or certificate that proves your English proficiency. What is kind of unique with the PICS Master program is also that it is a hybrid program. That is to say, we offer it in two different versions. So we have the distance version, where we have people taking the entire program, but never ever setting their foot here in Sweden or Skövde, or not necessarily at least. This means that we are live streaming all these lectures over Zoom to these people who take the distance version of the program. But simultaneously, we are also having the campus side of the program. So we are giving the lectures live, physically at campus, and then live stream, of course, for the people participating on distance. How do we solve it with the examinations then? Well, we don't have this typical examination where you sit down in a lecture hall and you have an hour to complete your exam. But instead, we are basically mostly basing our examination on group works, or reports, or seminars, and things like that, so that we can still combine the distance and the on-campus students to sort of work together. And of course, we are using the Swedish daytime here as the default time zone. What about the program outlining then, or the study schedule? Well, in front of you, I hope you can see all of it now, is the planned study schedule. So we will go through it briefly and just give you an idea of what the different courses entails. So in year one, if we start with that, you will read 2 courses in parallel almost always throughout the entire program. The first 2 courses that you will take is one course that we call the Principles of Privacy, Information Security, and Cybersecurity. And here you will learn the very foundations that we will build upon in the remainder of the courses. Here are the key concepts and the key theories that sort of underpins much of how we reason about security today. So it really is a good introduction to the field that you can build upon in the other courses throughout the program. In parallel to that, you will have a course in practical cryptology. And here you will be introduced, because not too many people have heard about cryptography before they take this course. So it is a nice introduction course to what cryptography is and how it has evolved over the 400 or 500 years or something like that. And you also see where we are today, how we can break older ciphers and so on. So it's a kind of a fun hands-on type of course. The next two courses you will have after that is the Information Security Management course, where you will learn a little bit more about the managerial part of security. How can you go about in a systematic way, introduce and work with security within the context of an organization or business? So here you will also see different types of standards, like the ISO 27001 standards, for those of you who might be familiar with that, or in NIST and similar standards, and how we can use them to work systematically with security issues. In parallel, we have, again, a little bit more of a hands-on, a little bit more technical course in cyber operations. And here we are trying to take the technical step once a little bit further. So here you will go into the practical aspects of both defensive technical defenses for securing digital infrastructures, as well as how you can technically attack and break these defenses. So it's a kind of a red team, blue team situation. You learn both the offensive side of security as well as the more defensive side of security. Then you move over to the privacy course, and you'll learn a little bit more philosophically what privacy entails, and a little bit more how it applies to security and the different rules that governs how we view and need to protect privacy in different contexts. After the privacy course, you have a course in IoT and critical infrastructure security. So again, a little bit more technical, where you will look into how security and cybersecurity is becoming more of an integral part of critical infrastructure. Like I was saying before here in the beginning of this talk here, that dams and bridges and power lines and so on is becoming digitalized as well. So we need to know a little bit more how cybersecurity plays into that area of society. The two courses, privacy and critical infrastructure and IoT security, is read then in parallel with a project course. And the project course is 15 credits, so it spans over both these two learning periods of the whole semester. And here it is kind of up to you to find a project that you want to deep dive into. So the idea here is that you can, with the knowledge that we've gotten so far in the program, figure out the topic that you want to deep dive into and focus upon it, and do something that is project oriented, and that should end up with something tangible as a result, like a report or a product or something like that, that is within the topic of privacy and or information security or cybersecurity. In year 2, we have chosen to add some options here for you to see what you have a specific interest into. So for the first of all, we have the Information Security Management Research course. So here you will learn a little bit about the basics of how to actually conduct scientific research within the field of information security. So this is a really good course before you start with your master thesis that comes in the second semester during the spring. But in parallel with this, you have some options. So we have a good collaboration with another Swedish university up north called Luleå University of Technology. And we offer some courses to their students, and in turn, they offer some courses to our students. So here you can actually choose if you want to deep dive a little bit into something called Applied Computer Security. It's sort of an add-on to the cyber operations course, if you will. Or you can deep dive a little bit further into the privacy aspects and take a course in legal regulations and privacy. If you are within the EU, you can actually also choose another course from another Swedish university. And I say within EU because the fees that you have to pay otherwise is a whole other matter. But if you are in EU citizen, you can actually choose any other course that you want on the university admissions website and take in as one of these optional courses here. You don't have to choose the two that we have offered here from Lulu University. Next up is the digital forensics for incident response. So here we go. We have looked a little bit about how we prepare for and defend when it comes to security. But here we take the perspective, okay, what will we do when something bad has already happened? What happened? How do we identify that? How do we forensically prove that something happened and secure evidence of it and so on? And how do we rebuild infrastructure once something have happened? So kind of a cool perspective when you look at it from a situation where the bad thing has already happened. And again, here too, we have in parallel some options. You can either, if you are an EU citizen, for example, choose an optional course from university admission, or you can choose one of these courses that we offer here. One in academic writing. I strongly suggest actually taking that one because that will give you an edge for the next course, which is the master thesis course. Or if you are on campus, you can actually also take a deep dive into computer forensics. We have an additional course that you can choose from there, but that one is only on campus, unfortunately, so because it requires some physical attendance. So if you're a distance student, you can't choose that one. The whole master program is summed up then by the last course here, which is the master thesis course. So here you will need to do some form of scientific research within the topic of either privacy, information security, and or cybersecurity. And you do this throughout the entire semester. So you don't take any other courses in parallel whilst you're doing your master thesis. We are a bunch of jolly teachers in this program, all of us having great experience with either one or multiple of these topics, privacy, information security, and or cybersecurity. We are all working on various different types of projects and scientific research within these areas. Many of us also have some industrial backgrounds in the field, so you will be in very good hands indeed. And whilst it varies a little bit what you can become after this, but when you have graduated, you will of course have a master's degree in science of informatics. That's the sort of area where you get your master's degree from. And then you can look into professional roles, either as a PhD student, so having taken a master's degree from the PICS program here, you are able to apply for PhD positions in Sweden. Or you can look into more, industrial type of roles. For example, Chief Information Security Officer, perhaps not the best option to go straight after graduation, but it is definitely something that you can go for after you have a few years of working experience. Or Data Protection Officer, same goes there, or cybersecurity expert in one of the many different sub-fields that you have covered throughout this program. All right, I think that pretty much sums up the short introduction for the PICS Masters program.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We will start with some questions that we have been having in the chat. And let's see. This is for you, Martin. Are we restricted to certain program languages for the project in privacy, information security, and cybersecurity?
Any programming languages?
Are we restricted to certain program languages?
No, absolutely not. So the project course is very free in that sense that it's kind of up to you what you want to do. If you want to develop something and program something, then have at it. The only requirement is that you should be able to do it in a project fashion. So you need project management and you need to have a plan and all milestones and all that stuff. But what you want to do, if you want to build something or if you want to research something or something else, that's entirely up to you. So no, there are no such restrictions.
Thank you. I saw that Tove has been really great at answering the questions in the chat, which is absolutely perfect. I'm just thinking that perhaps some of them we can just repeat here for people who are watching the webinar online, not all of them, but a couple of them. So there was the question for you and Tove and Martin about PhD PhD positions? Is it possible? Do we have PhD positions here at the university?
Yeah, I can go first, and then Tove, you can fill in if you want.
Sure.
Yeah, so absolutely. After you graduated from our master's program here, you are eligible for applying for a PhD position. Now, PhD positions are a little bit different in Sweden to other countries. In Sweden, a PhD position is actually announced as a vacancy, as a job role. So you apply for it as you would any other vacancy, and you get salary for it and so on. We are currently having one alumni from the master's program since 2 years ago, who graduated and then was interested to continue. And luckily enough, we had a vacancy for a PhD position, so the student applied for that one and got it.
Tove, do you want to add something?
No, the same applies for students taking the data science master's programs. You will also be eligible to apply for a PhD position, as Martin described.
And another question that we get frequently is that if you want to do PhD studies, should you have a 1 year or a 2 year master?
I mean, if you are since we have these positions, as you have to apply for them, of course, a 2 year master will be ranked higher. And often-wise, internationally, a 2 year master is more recognized than a 1 year master.
And yes, yeah, Tove, can you just explain the main difference between the 1 year and the 2 year master?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as I said in the slides as well, I mean, during the first year in the data science master's program, you will get to know the basics of data science. You will know how to clean your data, how to analyze it in different ways, and apply it to different methods or problems. But in the second year, you will be able to specialize more, and you will be able to use your knowledge obtained during the first year on more advanced problems during the second year. And of course, the master's degree or the certificate that you will get will also state if you have a 1 year master or a 2 year master.
Perfect, thank you. I see there are a couple of questions about scholarship and prerequisites. We will get back to you later on about that as well, so no worries about that. I don't know if there's something else that Martin and Tove has seen that you want to repeat that we have been. Yes, someone is asking about the thing is I have a qualified level 5 diploma, 240 credits, bachelor top up Kickston 120 credits. Can I apply for master? This is super hard, I think, for any of us to answer because it depends from which country you have your degree from. Because unless you're having the UK. Ooh. We will look into that later on, later in the webinar when we will describe how to do your application, and then we'll show you at university admission. I'm also going to highlight that we'll have a special session for how to do a successful application, and it's going to be our colleague Andrea who will be responsible for that, and it's going to be next week. And I really recommend you to join that webinar when you have very specific questions about the application procedure, where you have your degree from. We've got another one for a PICS master. What are the chances of an applicant in the early 40s years with second class upper division in getting a scholarship? Okay, yes. Well, I just want to highlight, I can take this one for getting a scholarship, it depends. I mean, like first you have to fulfill all the prerequisites and stuff like that. We will also get back to you that later on. But due to age is not a problem when you're studying in Sweden. We have a lot of students who are not in their 20s. They can be a bit older. So age is not a problem if you're going to study in Sweden, not at all. Tove and Martin, you perhaps want to develop that a bit further, because I guess you have students from all ages in your master classes.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. So, I mean, every year we have a few students of various different of various different ages. So that is not a problem. And many times, actually, being a little bit older has its benefits because you also have different perspectives that you can bring to your studies. And most often, these people also have different types of understanding and take on society, which can really bring something new to the table. So don't worry about age. That's not a thing to be concerned about, I would say.
And another question is that we very often get as well is about the job perspectives. I think you mentioned it a bit, but how does it like is it easy to get a job here in Sweden afterwards or abroad as well?
Who was that question for, or also in general?
Both of you, both Tove and Martin, both for your programs. How does the rate of getting a job afterwards, and if you want to work in Sweden or abroad?
I can go first then. I mean, we don't actually have any actual figures on how many of our alumni have gotten a position, but the alumni that we have met in various circumstances after they have graduated have all had a job, and it doesn't seem like people have been struggling in that respect. So anecdotally, from our program, it seems like most people do find a job afterwards.
Yeah, it's the same for the data science master's programs. And usually there we see that students who collaborate with a company during their thesis work, they usually get a position there in the end. So we try to connect our different courses that we offer within the program so that it match the competence needs of the industry that we have here in Sweden, like our company contacts. So I mean, you will become very attractive on the job market for sure.
And then you also answered one of our most frequently asked questions, if you can write your thesis at a company. And yes, you can. Yes, that's good.
Yes.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because we are very often get that if you can do an internship or if you can do your project thesis at a company. And do you have any more questions? Please write them in the chat. Okay, we got a question here that they want to study. If I want to study my bachelor's in data science, is it possible?
The program that we offer is a master's program, so we actually have as a prerequisite that the student already has a bachelor in any subject before coming here. So you need to have a bachelor before coming here to be eligible.
We have one program within informatics on a bachelor levels, but it's not the same. It's called Cybersecurity and Network Administration. That is the program that we have at the School of Informatics. I'm going to put the link here, but as mentioned, we don't have that in data science. Concerning scholarship questions, we will get back to you as well. And we also we're going to continue answering more questions about background. I mean, you can ask Tove and Martin about your educational background in that sense, but when it comes to questions about from which country you have been studying, we will try to answer that later on. But please ask them questions about your former study background. Perfect. Any more questions? Please feel free to ask them here. I just want to highlight also that Tove and Martin perhaps could leave their email addresses because very often you get the best questions afterwards and then you'll be like, oh, why didn't I ask that? So if you want to, you can put your emails in the chat so the students will be able to get in touch later on. And as mentioned, any questions about scholarships will be answered late more after a while here in the presentation. We will get back to all the questions about scholarships and similar things about prerequisites related to country-specific prerequisites. So we will get back to that like half an hour, 45 minutes from now. So no worries, just stay here and we will answer all your questions about that as well. Oh, here we got a question. For PICS masters, do I hear that there are no exams but group reports, research?
Yeah, so no exams in the sense of, sitting down one particular time and location and writing your exam. But there are so instead, what we do when we have the examination is that we typically solve it either through reports, group work, seminars, and presentations, stuff like that.
Thank you. And now we start to have questions about their background. I'm glad to read those. So I'm going to keep on asking Martin and Tova about them. So I have a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering from Ghana. I would want to know if there are research assistant opportunities in the 2-year master programs.
I can answer from the data science programs. It has happened that we have had research assistants, but it all depends on the different ongoing research projects that we have here at the university, and that the student competencies match that particular project and so on. So that can actually vary. So we cannot guarantee anything.
Yeah, the same goes with the PICS Masters program.
I have a work experience in IT, even though my bachelor isn't from an IT background. Can I apply for one of these programs too?
If that is
Yeah.
for the data science, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So actually at the University of Skövde, this goes for all our educations. We have something called real competence, and you can apply for an exemption that you don't have the correct bachelor background, but you have a professional background that is sort of equivalent to a 3-year bachelor's program. But that is an per case basis. So it will be me or Tove who makes that decision by looking into the background and see if it is equivalent to what we would expect from a bachelor's kind of knowledge, so to say. So yeah, that is absolutely a thing that you can do at the University of Skövde.
Hi, I have a 3-year bachelor's degree in computer science and over 5 years of experience as a software engineer. I'm from Sri Lanka. Can I apply for the 2-year data science master program in data science?
Okay, I guess here the question is if a 3-year bachelor degree from Sri Lanka is equivalent to a 3-year bachelor degree in Europe, right? For that, I have actually no idea. You have to look at the university admission to have a look at if that can be considered equivalent. But as Martin said, you can apply for this prior experience as well here to make you eligible, even if the university credits doesn't cover it.
Thank you. And another one with the background in electrical and electronic engineering, second upper class, and about 5 years working experience in informatic security. Would 1-year master in PICS be great before I transition to a PhD, or should I have a 2-year master's before I transition to a PhD?
Sorry, did you say a 1-year PICS?
Yeah.
So we don't offer that anymore. We used to have the option that you could choose to do a 2-year or a 1-year, but as of now, actually, as of this year, we are discontinuing the 1-year program. So you can only take PICS 2 years version.
And here's another one. My background is in biochemistry, and I have an ESC2 certificate. Can I apply?
I mean, if you want to apply for the data science master's program, we don't actually care in which subject you had your bachelor degree in. You need at least 7.5 credits of programming and 7.5 credits of math or statistics, as well as possibly an English proficiency test if that is needed. But otherwise, we don't have like particular requirements from where your bachelor degree need to be situated field-wise.
And for the PICS Masters, you need a bachelor degree in an IT-related subject. So with IT-related, we mean that roughly 90 ECTS from your bachelor needs to be within IT.
Thank you. Another one is I wanted to ask about the ECTS of programming. I have studied Intro to IT in my bachelor's. I think you kind of answered that before as well recently. So yeah, as well. And let's see, more questions. Yes, I have a level 5 cybersecurity diploma and a 1-year cybersecurity degree. Can I apply?
Uh, I don't know what you mean with the level 5 certificate.
Can you please define that? What do you mean with a cybersecurity diploma and a 1-year? If like, do you have a bachelor or a honor or a master or anything? We will wait for that question. I'm going to ask another question in between. So, hi, I'm applying from Sri Lanka. I have completed the UK's higher national diploma awarded of a ethical related awarding body. I also have a bachelor degree in cybersecurity and digital forensics from Kingston University, London. With these qualifications, am I eligible to apply for the master's programs?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and suppose that you mean the PIX Masters. And if that is the case, I mean, I can't make an assessment here now, but it sounds like it shouldn't be an issue. It sounds like the typical background that would meet our requirements. As I said before, you need to have at least 90 ECTS within IT related courses, and it sounds like that would fit your bill. So yeah, I think so.
Perfect. I think if you have any more questions related to the program, about the courses, or about it being eligible due to your educational background, please, you can write them now, or you can send an email later on to Tove or Martin, and they will get back to you. Otherwise, I think we have answered most of them. The only questions we have left are about scholarships and similar things. So we will get back to you. And of course, we'll go through it through the presentation. So you will get an answer as well from that. So I can't see any more questions. So I just want to say thank you, Tove and Martin, for joining us. And of course, I think all of you, we who are sitting here, hope to see all the participants joining us next autumn, of course. And as mentioned, you can send Tove and Martin an email if you have any questions later on. And Tove and Martin, you can feel free to join us for the rest of the webinar, or if you need to leave, then you need to leave, and we totally understand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. And then we will continue with the other part of the webinar. So let's see. So you met the program directors, and now we will continue just to give you some short information. Both these programs belong to the School of Informatics, and the head of the school is Henrik Rydén. We have about 2,568 students-ish. There are 92 people working there. 12 of them are professors. Special focuses are computer science, artificial intelligence, and games. The subjects they look into, or subjects that we have, are informatics, data science, cybersecurity and integrity, user experience design, game development, media arts, aesthetics, and narration. And we had our Q&A here as well, and the international programs, because now we have been talking about 2 international programs, or 3 if you count a 1-year and a 2-year data science as 2 programs, but there are a couple of more. Please, Sarah, tell us about it.
Yes. Let me tell you guys a little bit. I've been quiet for a while now, so let me speak and let Karin rest. Very good job with the Q&A, Karin.
Thank you.
So let me tell you guys, because today we have been talking about data science and PICS, those programs, but we also offer 24 or in total 24 international programs at our university. So you might have a sister or a friend or a spouse or somebody else that you can think of that might be interested in coming to Sweden as well. Or you might be thinking about another program. So I'm going to go through all of our programs shortly so that you've heard all of them. And then after I've read them, you can go, or after this webinar, you can go to the website and look them up if you hear something that sounds interesting to you. So like I said, we have 24 international programs in total. 4 of those are bachelors. They are in at 3 years duration, and 20 of those are master's programs, 1 to 2 years, depending on the program. They're in fields such as behavioral sciences, bioscience, business and marketing, engineering and technology, game development, health sciences, and informatics. And let's just look at the bachelor's real quick. They're right here. Karin mentioned before. Go to the next slide. Yeah, Karin mentioned before the cybersecurity and network administration. That's at the School of Informatics that we're talking about today. And that would be the most similar to these programs that we're talking about today. So if you're interested in bachelor's, I know somebody asked about that, you can look that program up later. We also have biomedicine, molecular biodesign, and molecular bioinformatics. And for the 1-year master programs, in the spring, we have artificial intelligence for bioinformatics and biomedicine. And for the autumn semester, we have business development and marketing, cognitive neuroscience, data science, which we talked about today, games, aesthetics, and narration, infection biology, molecular biotechnology, and molecular ecology. And then we have quite a few 2-year masters. So they are biomarkers in molecular medicine, computational methods in engineering, data science, game development, both player experience and serious games, infection biology, intelligent automation, molecular biotechnology, molecular ecology, privacy information and cybersecurity, as well as systems biology, specialization in bioinformatics. So like I said, quite a few programs, but you can just go to his.se/en/education if you want to find all of them, or just scan the QR code right here. And there is basically all the information that you need about the programs on the website, I would say, with syllabi and videos and student stories and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, awesome. Moving on, Karin.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I think I might have put something else there. Yes, what we're going to talk about is a bit more about the integration with the business community. So, Sarah, do you want to talk a bit about
you're
that
correct.
as well?
I was trying to pass it on to you, and then I'm like, okay, let me keep talking for a little bit more. I mean, you did do the Q&A for quite a while, so I'll let you rest your voice a little bit more. So one thing that is really great about the University of Skövde is the incredible collaboration that we have with the industry around us. So this means that we're actually collaborating with world-leading companies that drive innovation, sustainability, and digital transformation across many different sectors. One thing that we'd like to brag about is that we are the preferred research partner of Volvo. I'm sure you guys know Volvo. This is the certificate for that. And honestly, I don't think it looks that impressive. Maybe we should switch it out for like the impressive logos from all of the companies that we work with so that you guys can really relate to it. But we work with Volvo, Scania, ABB, Huawei, Sandvik, IKEA, which is also Swedish and should probably be mentioned in that first slide that we talked about earlier, right? Microsoft, AstraZeneca, Arla, and many more companies. And why this is so great for you guys as students is because you guys are becoming a part of this partnership that reflects trust and quality and a shared vision for the future that we have together with these companies. And you really, while you're still students, you're building these industry connections, you're building real world experience, you're getting to improve your career prospects and all of that stuff. So it's really a great opportunity for you here in Skövde in so many ways. One thing that is really interesting is the Science Park Skövde, which Karin will tell you a little bit more about.
Yes, absolutely, of course. And sorry, I missed out on that picture, but
It's
yes, the
okay.
Science Science Park Skövde. Well, I mentioned it before. The university collaborates with the Science Park of Skövde. As I was showing you the map before, it's really integrated with the university. Well, as mentioned, it is really the center of innovation that was established in 1999. And the aim was to partly create an interaction, as mentioned, with the surrounding business community and the academia, the university. And another aim with the Science Park has been to help students who graduate from the university, mainly within the IT field that we're talking about here for the moment, to start up their own companies, which is done in a business incubator. And the Skövde Science Park employs about 10 business developers to support the students throughout the process. The Skövde Science Park it keeps on growing all the time, as mentioned before. It is super cool. They just keep on building things. So talking about actually a science city, I think that's really awesome. But another thing they have is like the Sweden Game Arena. Please, Sarah, tell me us about that.
Yes, I mean, this is technically also related to informatics, right? So I think you guys might be interested to hear about this. Sweden Game Arena, if you haven't heard of this, this is a technology and research park that binds academy and business and society together. It's located right here in Skövde, and it's actually one of the most innovative development environments within the international computer games industry today. So that is so cool to me still that this is right here in our small town of Skövde, where we have more than 200 game developers and 500 game students that work together to create this really innovative melting pot for games in Sweden and basically internationally as well. Every year, we also host the largest conference for gaming here at Sweden Game Arena. And yeah, it's just so cool that there are so many developers here. I talked to the student the other day. He came here from Asia, was really excited, and he wanted to tell me something. I'm like, what happened? He's like, yes, I play this game every single day and it's my favorite game. And then I came here to Skövde and I met the developer for this game and it was so cool. It was such a fun experience. And I can't believe I got to talk. He was like really starstruck about this. And it was so cool. And I was so happy for him that he got this experience. So that's also really telling that, like, even though you come from really far away, the developers of the games that you guys are playing right now, they are actually here, a lot of them in Skövde. So that's really cool to me. Uh, in the engineering field, we also have some collaborations, especially with Assar. Do you want to talk about that, Karin?
Yes, I would love to do that. We have something called the ASA Industrial Innovation Arena, and it's like a really great example, another great example of this collaboration between the academy and industry. It offers the manufacturing and technology companies a world-class innovation environment to provide new solutions for the future. It is a meeting place like a showroom where different stakeholders within the manufacturing industry or technology companies can find relevant contacts. It is like a really super cool place, and we recommend you to check out our Instagram because there you can actually see when we had like a very international conference there. And Sarah, for example, filmed there like a reel, so you can see the facilities. They're really lovely. And we also have quite a lot of research environments. Just to mention some are digital health research, organizing for sustainable development, virtual engineering, and a lot more. Please do check out these because they are very interesting and they are also very important why you should come and study here because they say quite a lot about the education you will get here, the research your teachers will be conducting, and just check them out. They're really awesome. And just to mention some, we were talking a bit earlier about the different programs. I'm going to repeat them just so you are aware. Informatics, we mentioned it, we have a bachelor program that is called Cybersecurity and Network Administration. We have also the master programs that we're talking about are within data science as well as privacy information and cybersecurity. Yes. And it trains students for the careers in data analytics, cybersecurity, and digital infrastructure. I'm sorry, I can see here that it's incorrect. It is a 2-year program, so it's 120 credits. And what is so super cool is that, as you have heard, there's a lot of industry collaboration and project opportunities. And there are also some other cool stuff. We have a free Swedish courses because, you know, the best way of becoming a part of the Swedish society is, of course, to learn a bit of Swedish. You will feel better at home if you do that, as well as you will boost your career. So that's why we offer you the Swedish courses. It will be easier for you to settle in, you know, get friends, and will open a bit more job opportunities after you graduate. Since many companies in Sweden and across is in Skövde as well, and across all over Sweden, they appreciate if you can speak at least a bit of Swedish. So invest in your future, take the classes. And we will have the the Swedish Society and Swedish culture that is equal to 3 credits. It will start during the introduction program. It will give you some information to Swedish culture, society, and basic Swedish phrases. Because, you know, it is kind of good knowing why Swedish people sometimes do certain things. Like I usually make a joke about this, but if you enter a a Swedish person's house, you need to take off your shoes. You will not be invited more. So it's like that's super rude walking in with your shoes into someone else's house. It looks differently in different countries, but in Sweden, no, big no. You have indoor shoes like me today. And then we also have Swedish for foreign students, which is where you will learn to speak some basic and also listen. You will get, like, you know, pronunciation, communication, and things like that. And it's free of tuition if it has been taking the second semester of studies. The first one is free of charge if you take it during the first semester, the one that is 3 credits. The one that is 7.5 credits is free of charge during the second semester of studies. And Sarah, over to you, student life.
Yes, I can tell that my connection is a little bit unstable again. I don't know why, because I'm at the university right now. So hopefully that works out. So, but if I'm kicked out again, you know what happened, Karin.
No worries.
So
I'm ready.
yeah, perfect. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about student life. And we do have Reddy here today. He's going to talk about it a little bit more later. So I'll just be quick with this. But here in Sweden, one thing that international students do find very different usually from what they're used to is the learning and teaching style that we have. And a lot of that is because we focus on independent learning here. And what that means is that you might only have like 1 or 2 classes one week, or just like a couple of hours one week. And then, you know, you are expected to still study for 40 hours. So it's not like you're free the rest of the week, unfortunately. So you do have to study full time because you have applied for a program that is full time, and that's what you're expected to do. So this means that you are required to study independently by going through your coursework, preparing for presentations, all of that stuff, and maybe studying with your friends, you know. So that is kind of included in your curriculum. Yeah, another thing that is quite different, and that usually international students will mention to me when I ask them, like, what's the thing that you were like the most surprised about Sweden? And it is our flat organization that we have. And what that means is that we're on first name basis with each other. So you will not call your professor here in Sweden. And I'm not just saying that, like that's real. Like you won't say that. You're going to be saying, like before, you're going to be saying Tove to Tove, and you're going to be saying Martin to Martin. So that's because that's how we do it here in Sweden. So I know a lot of you guys think that is a little bit crazy, but it is the way that we do it here. We also have a very student-centered education. And what that means is, earlier I mentioned to you guys that we have 2/3 academic staff at our school, which we're very proud of because that means a lot of support for you guys. So the teachers are really here to support you in your studies and help you so that you succeed. They help you with developing your independent learning skills, your analytical thinking skills, planning skills, group working skills, all of that stuff. And usually the students will say like, oh, I don't feel like my teacher or my professor is my professor. It feels like it's my colleague, because that's usually how closely you work together, which I think that's really cool. Yeah, another thing that we're super proud of here at the University of Skövde is our international integration. Like I mentioned before, we have more than 60 nationalities at our school and a lot of international students. And I see them every single day when I walk out on campus. Like there's just a plethora of different nationalities here, and it's so fun. You hear different languages being spoken, and people are just connecting from different parts of the world every single day. And this is definitely something that you can benefit from, because you're building these relationships, like global connections, while you're students, and that can really benefit you in your future careers as well. Another thing that is great about Skövde is our student support. Do you want to tell us about that, Karin?
Yes, of course. So the thing is that even though things might be totally different when you come here, we will of course not, like a former colleague would say, throw you to the wolves. We're of course going to help you as much as we possibly can. So, and that's why we have, for example, our study and career counselors. They will offer study and career counseling before you arrive, during, and after your studies. So the thing is also that they will help you if you want to discuss your future, future occupations, stuff like that, future jobs. They will be able to support you and give you tons of great tips and advices, which they will do during the first week of introduction as well. We will get back to that really soon. And but also if you have dyslexia, ADHD, or autism, or any other form of disability, this should never ever prevent you from studying at the University of Skövde. We will help you and support you. You will see one of our colleagues there who's responsible for that, Virpi. And it could be like if you have dyslexia, for example, then you can get a bit of extra time when you're writing your exams, different types of support during your studies, basically. And Sarah, what is this? You can see this picture that we're always talking about changing. So please tell us why we're always talking about how we should change it.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a good representation of the library, if I'm honest. And yeah, whoever picked this, I don't know if that was me, maybe I should be fired.
I know,
I'm kidding.
I think might be.
But
equal.
we should probably change this picture because it's not a good representation of the library. It's a really cool place, and a lot of students tell me like, I love the library. It's such a good place where I can study. I can study by myself. There are group study rooms that I can use to study with my friends. There's free access to books and articles. And this is great for you guys because I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be studying distance studies. And so you can use the digital books that are going to be free, and also the articles you might want to reference to when you're writing a paper and stuff like that. So yeah, you can still use the library even if you're not here in Skövde, although you are missing out because it is a cool place to visit actually, and a great place to study. They even have like exercise bikes you can use when you're studying. They have these like Pilates balls that you can sit on when you're studying. They have like a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, definitely if you're here in Skövde, take advantage of the library for sure. They also have a study support center at the library, and I think you might be able to still contact them even if you're not in Skövde, right? So they can help you with a lot of things when it comes to academic writing. I know Martin talked about earlier that one of the courses one of the programs we're talking about today has academic writing as one of their courses. But if you're not taking that course, you still need help with academic writing because that can be challenging if you haven't done that a lot before. So you can get some help from the study support center at the library. So they will help you with that. They will help you with study strategies. If you have a lot of coursework, you don't know how to read 5 books in a week, for instance, they'll help you out. Referencing and citation and language and style and structure and all of that fun stuff that you are going to be using. So yeah, they're great. Definitely contact them for sure.
It is really one of our, every time I ask the students when we have been doing like reels for Instagram, and you go like, oh, show you, if you're going to show your favorite place at the university, and they just go to the university. They might go to the D house as well because it's really beautiful. It's like really, there's like windows from, I don't know, 20 meters up basically, or 15 or ish. So it's like the most beautiful places. So you can sit and study that. That's super cool.
I can see that Reddy is nodding his head, and I know that he moved back to Greece now, but he's still joining us. But do you agree? Do you miss it, Reddy?
I absolutely miss it. I think that those 2 years I've been in Skövde were amazing years where I gained a lot of good experiences, and I met nice people. But when it comes to the buildings and to the facilities of the university, they were encouraging all students to go to the university and study more. As we are supposed to work in a group, then there are many spots where we could gather and stay there, to have some conversation and study. So you have the university in the university, you can find anything you want, like the perfect spot for you, and for everyone. So it is really great there.
Thank you. And you will get back to, we will get so much more interesting pictures and histories about your studies here really soon. It's like if you just stay tuned, everyone who's here, just wait a few minutes. He's coming here now. So I'm just going to mention some, Menti is of course going to give you more information. I'm just going to mention some short notes about the student life, because of course education is better with friends, and we have special interest groups, but we also have the student union and ESN. And I just want to highlight that the student union, they're run by students for students and work with issues that affect students at the university. So it means basically that in all committees at the university, there's always almost every time a student representative. So students have a lot of influence here at the university to affect their education and to affect basically all types of decision making here. ESN is also a Erasmus student network that works with international, I mean, it's open for all students, but there's a lot of international students going on there. I think that Denti might talk about that a bit later on because he has a background within ESN as well. And here just to mention some voices from our students. Teresa, that is also one of our student ambassadors together with Irendi, is that she thinks that the best thing about the university is its strong emphasis on practical learning and innovation. Elliot from France, he feels that the best experience has been working hands-on projects with peers from different backgrounds. And Basra thought that Skövde was like a great place for her to start her career as a researcher. Faith Grace felt that international education has expanded her experience and perspectives. And Sarah, please talk. I mentioned the international introduction just briefly, but please explain more about it.
Yes, I could talk about this for an hour, so I'll try to be brief. But the international introduction is what it sounds like. It's an international introduction week, a full week for you guys when you come here, that you get to experience our campus for the first time. And we're actually so happy that you're coming here. So we're bringing out a band on campus. We are having a party. We're using confetti cannons. It's really a party to celebrate that you guys are here. And this year was really special for me because it was actually my first week at work. So I felt kind of very well welcomed to campus because I was also greeted with the confetti cannons, So it was amazing. And I definitely got to experience this firsthand, what it's like to be new at campus during International Introduction Week. And it's fantastic. So you guys won't want to miss it. What happens during this week is that we will have a lot of information for you guys about our academic procedures. You'll get to see our facilities, learn about lab, and there will also be a social program for you guys. And what that means is there are going to be activities from the early hours of the morning until sometimes the late hours of the night. And it's, of course, you don't have to participate in everything, but there are a lot of things to participate in if you want to. And I definitely recommend doing so, because the international introduction is not only a good way to learn about the university and what it's like to study here, which those are also important things, of course, but it's also a great way to meet friends, because I know that when you're coming to a new country, it can be difficult. You're often coming alone. You might have left all of your friends and family in your home country, you know, so you're coming by yourself. You don't know anyone usually. And this week, you're going to meet a lot of people that are in the same position as you. And from experience, I have talked to so many students this year that have said like, oh, I'm so grateful that I got to be at the international introduction, because I met people that I'm still hanging out with today, like 3 years later. And it's so cool. So definitely don't miss this. And in this QR code, you can find the program for the international introduction, but right now it's reserved for our spring students because they're coming before you guys. So after that, you can find all the information on our website about the international introduction. And we also have exchange possibilities at our university. Do you want to talk about that, Karin?
Yes, of course. We have a couple of those. So it's like it means that you can study abroad or have a traineeship abroad, mainly within Erasmus. And so the thing is, it depends on which program you're studying. If it could be for a semester, or or just a few weeks. For example, we have something called blended intensive programs, which are short mobilities. They can be somewhere between 3 credits until 7.5-ish. And 3 credits means, for example, that you need to have 1 week where you will meet other people physically, and then you will have the other parts online. And I recommend you to check out Go Global to see our partner universities and the opportunities that we have. And we're also a part of this European University Alliance called Ingenium. And it means that we, together with 10 universities, has created this alliance. And our focus areas are within education, research, and entrepreneurship. And as mentioned, it means through this European University Alliance, we have access to 10 European campuses across 10 countries. That is almost 200,000 students. It also gives you the opportunities for exchange, as mentioned, short-term stay and summer and winter schools. Summer and winter schools, we usually have that at the beginning of the year, as well around May-ish. We both have for bachelor students as well as master students. Basically at the same time. The first week will be for masters and the second week for bachelors, and they will be in different countries. It's called 10 Days of Ingenium. We're also working to have more in the future joint programs and credit recognition, so it will be easier to study between the different countries. And we also have had like hackathons, just to mention some things, and it's a very future-oriented education. So we focus a lot on sustainability, digitalization, entrepreneurship, and of course inclusion skills that are very highly valued in a modern job market. And just so now we have been talking about all these things, and now I'm going to let Sarah just explain what it will cost you to come here, if it does, because it depends where you come from.
I was just kicked out, but now I'm back.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know what's going on today. That's really weird. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit short about the tuition fees for the academic year of 2026, 2027. And just to clarify, this applies to non-EU, non-EEA citizens. And if you are an EU or EEA citizen, you can apply for, what's that called again, Karin? You can apply to be exempt from this,
yes,
right?
exemption. Yeah, exactly.
Exemption. Yeah, exactly. So just so you're aware of that. But for the bioscience, cognitive neuroscience, informatics, engineering, and game development, these are going to be the prices. So for the 1-year masters, it's going to be 155,000 Swedish crowns. For the 2-year masters, it's going to be 310,000 Swedish crowns. And for the 3-year bachelor programs, it's going to be 465,000 Swedish crowns. And this is paid for, or you're using a payment plan for this. Obviously, you're not paying everything all at once. So you're paying it in installments. And what that basically means is that you're paying it in equal, like you can divide it equally for the semesters that you're going to be studying. So if you're studying a 2-year master's program, it's going to be 4 installments, and you're going to be paying 77,500 Swedish crowns before every semester. And that is around 7,000 euros. So if you want to translate this into euros, you basically remove a 0, more or less. Like that's not going to be an exact number, but that's just for you guys to understand it better, I think. If we go to the next slide, we can also see the tuition fees for the 1-year master's program in business and marketing. And that's a little different because that's 110,000 Swedish crowns paid in installments of 55,000 Swedish crowns before the 2 semesters. Yeah, perfect. So there are also some more costs that you might want to consider when coming to Karin.
Yes, so we have the living costs here. So food in Sweden will cost you about 2,770 Swedish crowns. When I'm talking about them, take away a 0. So for example, the food will be about like 300 euros a month. Everything I'm talking about here is per month. Accommodation is about 4,900 Swedish crowns per month. Local travel is about 550 Swedish crowns. I just want to highlight that if you live in Skövde, everything is very easily accessible by walk, so you quite likely are not going to need to use that in that sense, unless you want to go a bit outside Skövde. Phone is about 400 Swedish crowns, and then you have all the other things, you know, clothes and perhaps books, literature for your studies. It's about 1,964. Altogether, it will cost you about 10,584 Swedish crowns to live here, about 915 euros. And but I was talking a bit about housing, Sarah. Well, where can I live if I want to come here?
I mean, some of you guys can still live at home, right? Because there's distance learning in one of these courses. So that's awesome. But I definitely recommend that you come to Skövde because you don't want to miss out on this mountain back here. You know, skiing and all of that. Can't advertise that enough. Anyway, so if you're coming here to Skövde, it's important to remember that the University of Skövde, we don't offer guaranteed housing. However, we do have 4 accommodation areas with furnished rooms. However, no families or pets are allowed in these, just so you know. These are going to be about 365 to 460 euros every month, depending on which one you end up in. And you can apply for these as soon as you receive your admission. However, spots are limited, like I said, so make sure you apply early for these. Like as soon as you receive your admission, you should apply. And we also have exchange students that are using these as well. And I think it's like first come, first serve, but they are here for a shorter period of time. So just so you know. If you're unable to get an accommodation through the university, you're coming with your family, you're coming with pets. A lot of people ask me about pets, so it is possible to bring your pets. Our colleague Andrea actually moved here from Brazil. I think, was it like 13 years ago, Karin? Or
Yeah.
it was, yes. And she brought her cat, and the cat is still with us today. So yeah, it's very possible to bring your pets here to Skövde, definitely. But you are going to want to stay in another accommodation other than the student housing. So I can recommend the largest landlord here in Skövde, which is called Skövde Bostäder. They have no furnished rooms, but like I said, families and pets are allowed here. And they also have a separate, 2 separate queues. So it's one for regular apartments and one for student apartments. And we've written here that you can put your name in the queue when you receive your admission. But I got a very, very good tip from one of our students. And she said that she put her name in like right now. She was at this webinar, I think last year or 2 years ago, and she put her name in right away in the queue. And so since you guys aren't coming until the autumn, like you get 1 point for the queue every single day, and the queue is free. So she had a lot of points already when she got her admission letter, and she was like, okay, so it's going to be easier for me to get an apartment now. So just a tip for you guys that are at this webinar, like not everybody knows about this. So just a tip for you guys, go to this QR code right here, and you can put your name in the queue like right now if you know you're going to be applying, because yeah, you don't want to miss out on student housing for sure. Do we have any scholarships, Karin? Because I know a lot of people ask about that.
Yes, we have a couple of those, and we're really glad to inform you that also these programs, that at least data science, are available for some extra scholarships as well. So we have the University of Skövde Master Scholarship. It is available for all the programs, as long as you are studying here at the university. It means that it will cover 50% of your tuition fee. And it's available for non-European EA master students who choose the University of Skövde as their first option. So it's very important when you do the ranking on university admission, make sure that you always put the University of Skövde as your first one if you want to be accepted here and also be qualified for our scholarship. It's open now, but the deadline is on the 10th of February 2026. As mentioned, it's a tuition fee waiver. But we also have a scholarship for global professionals, and we have that. Unfortunately, we only have this within data science, so we don't have that within PICS. But it is a really generous scholarship because it covers the full tuition fee as well as the living costs. It's available for master applicants from 32 eligible countries. And you can apply via the Swedish Institute from the 9th of February until the 25th of February. But you can still go in there and check out the QR code to see, get tons of good information about the application and how to apply and things like that. We also have Pioneering Women in STEAM. It's the same generous scholarship that covers full tuition, living costs. It's available only for female master students from 10 countries. We don't know from which countries for the moment. It's the same with the other one, but you will find out when the application opens. And you also have to apply through the Swedish Institute. It will open between the 9th of February until the 25th of February as well. So use the QR codes to check out those. And as mentioned, it will also be open data science, both of them. But yes, now we're going to make sure that Randy will have his opportunity to brag about Sweden as well.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity to demonstrate all my experiences to new students. So I'd like to share a presentation that I've prepared for you. Second only. Can you see?
Yes, we can see your PowerPoint. Yes.
Great. So I'm here to demonstrate my experiences through the eyes of a data science student or as an international student, let's say. So my name is Reddy. I'm a student ambassador here at the University of Skövde. I'm on my late 30s. I'm 37 years old, just to cover all my background. I studied, my bachelor's was in surveying and geoinformatics engineering. I had my Erasmus program in Poland, in the University of Koszalin. Then I followed with a master's in geospatial technologies. And after some years, with the love I had for the data in general, I decided to participate in the University of Skövde as a student in data science. So I'm here just to demonstrate my experience, to give you some insights and to reflect on this in what I gained those 2 years. So I would like to start why I chose Sweden. In every survey, you can see that Sweden appears as one of the best countries when it comes to education. It's ranked as the best, and it has high standards of living, very beautiful nature, maybe a little bit tough winter, but in general, it's a very beautiful country with very nice people there. People are very well organized. The society is great, friendly, and supportive. So it was one of the best candidates for me to choose. So when it comes to Sweden, then I had to choose the university. And I chose the University of Skövde because it was one of the first universities that offered a data science program. Here in Sweden, the educational system here is really it's improving all the time. They are using a lot of surveys. They ask for for students' opinion. So the next year is always better than the previous year. So having this in my head, I chose to go to a master's program that had been improving for many years. So it follows the market, the job market. So also with my research, I found out that it combines the theoretical knowledge with the real problem solving issues. And it has, with my research from the site, I found out that it has very nice facilities, as this was one of the most important things that I wanted to have a very nice place to study, to focus, and to deal with all the problems with the university. So when it comes to the data, I will speak as a data science student. The course is blend, as I said, blend theory and with practical application. We had many courses like data mining and big data programming. They were focused mostly on the data science and the data analysis. Data visualization and explainable AI is how to visualize the data so we can gain insights much easier. And explainable AI refers to the models on how the models work, why AI is good or bad. So it is just to understand the models, to go deeper to the models. And predictive analytics and business intelligence are the key courses that connects you with the market. Predictive analytics deals with forecasting, which is very good to know when it comes to the business. And business intelligence is how to perform, how to interpret the results when it comes to the business, like to the goal, let's say, of the business. And another thing that I wanted to spot is that professors are dedicated to students' success. They are always helping. Skövde maybe is a small university, let's say, but this is a very good advantage when it comes to students because professors are always there to support you, to help you. And also, it's not, for example, I live in Greece. I had a master's in Greece and we were following the professors. Like we had some tasks, some assignments, and we were doing the assignments as the professors were asking us. But in Skövde, it's like they teach you how to swim in a swimming pool, and then they tell you go in the sea or in the lake or in the river and go swim yourself. We will be there to protect you, to show you how to do it, but decide your topic, decide everything you want, find the problem and solve it. So this was something very, very good when it comes to the master, because even as a student, we were asked to perform as a consultant in companies. So this encouraged the creative problem solving. So I'd like to demonstrate a project that I had that combines almost all the let's say all the courses. This was the project I had the first year. So here we were asked with a friend, with Simon, we were trying to decide in which restaurant we wanted to go. So we started reading a lot of reviews, and we spent almost 1 hour, and we were like, hey, we read so many reviews, but we do not know yet which is the best restaurant in the city. So having this in mind, we scrapped all these reviews from all the restaurants of them. We made some pre-processing there, and then we found out which were the best restaurants and which were the best dishes of those restaurants. And all this, we learned to do all this in our courses, right? So here we could rank the restaurants and to find which were the positive and the negative words when it comes to the reviews they had. And then we could also make some new applications to when it comes to the decision making, to go to the manager and say, hey, you have here some clusters of people that they are positive or negative, for example, to different entities like food or the service. So the manager could go much easier and see what he had to improve in the restaurant. So this is with the project. Now I want to talk a little bit about the town, about the Hovde, about this beautiful little town, which is located between the biggest lakes of Europe, and it's located also between Gothenburg and Stockholm. And it is a very strategic city because you can go wherever you want in Sweden by train. There is a train station where you can take the train and go wherever you want. So it's a very, very nice located city. Here with the red layer, you can see where the university is located. In blue layer, you can see where you can the accommodation. And with green layer, you can see the spots where people usually go, like in the city center, in Billingen, the little hill behind Sarah's background. You can go there for ice skating, for skiing, for swimming, whatever you want, for walking, biking. It's really a very beautiful place, a very beautiful hill. When it comes then to the community of Hovde, the community there is in Sweden in general, it's really very good. They provide culture classes, so you can you can understand much easier how Swedish people communicate with each other. For example, here in Greece, it's very common to meet a person to say hello and we kiss each other. In Sweden, this is not that common, so this was a shock for me, right? So all this, you can learn all these facts very fast. Also, a very good thing is that they provide language classes in the university, as well as in the community of Skövde. You can have there for free language classes, so you can integrate much easier in the society. Or if you want to continue later on in finding a job and to locate yourself in Sweden, this is a very big advantage if you speak Swedish. And also in the community offers career programs when they teach you how to create your CV, how to communicate with recruiters, how to find these recruiters, and how to demonstrate your skills. So it will be much easier to find a job because we found out that coming from different backgrounds, people from India and Pakistan and Greece and Spain, we have a different approach on how to communicate with recruiters. In this career program, we learned how to do it in Sweden. It's a different approach. So these programs help a lot. So I went to Hovde. It was 9th of August. It was the summertime back in Greece. We were on the beach all the time. And when I went to Sweden, the weather there was not that good. It started to be very cold. It was very snowy. And only 2 months later, in October, November, it started snowing and everything was white. So I felt a little bit alone and depressed. But I found out that after 2 months, I made a lot of friends. I met some Spanish friend, Alicia, with Philip. By the way, he was studying in PIX, with Umer from Pakistan, with Fior from Netherlands, from Marika from Germany. So we had a very, very good community there, a lot of friends. We were cooking together, doing a lot of things together. So it was very warm when we were all together. Making good friends is one of the best things you can do in Hovde because it's a very small city. So whatever you do, you will meet a lot of people wherever you go. So you can start cooking with them, biking, swimming, skiing, ice skating, as I said, go to the student club for a nightlife. So it provides everything you need to have a very beautiful life, let's say, to enjoy. So the first week, this is a picture from the introduction week. we met the mayor of the city. So just imagine, like, you go there the first day and you meet the mayor. Like, you are very important. We felt very important, like we were doing something, and it was very, like, I felt very like being home, because they told us that, hey, you are coming here in a new society, like, and we know Swedish people know that they are different from the other cultures, and they told us that to not be shy to express, like, to show us how your culture is, because we learn from each other. So you will learn how we work, we will learn how you do how you do, so we will become better. So this was the first thing that I remember. It was very, I felt like home after that. So when it comes after some weeks, we started to have some assignments. So studying was a very, very important task. We were studying more or less 6 to 7 hours per day. We had group rooms with very nice computers. When it comes to the assignments, we had also to present, like, this is a new skill that I unlocked, that after every assignment, we had to present our work. So this was an important thing. And we were having there a lot of time, spending a lot of time there in the group rooms and with the very nice facilities. So, as I said, all this studying together in a group work, it makes like it bonds and it makes very good friends. So we were spending a lot of time together, going going out later on different activities like climbing the trees in the arena. So, and in the spring, all the colors started to appear. It became very beautiful. Like green was everywhere. In the spring, there were trees red, as you can see. In Hovde, you will find some little mountains that are really impressive, amazing, as you can see here in the pictures. In the summertime, people used to swim in the lakes, but not only in the summer. Like in the left, you can see a Swedish person swimming in the frozen lake there. So you will see very beautiful things that may shock you or may encourage you to do things that you have never done before. I can show you here some very beautiful pictures from the lakes. And when it comes to night living, the KB, the club of the city, the student club, organize many beautiful events like brave parties or thematic parties. As you can see here, this was the picture from the Halloween. We went there like with dress ups and we had a lot of fun. And you will be prepared to see these beautiful aurora lights, like the sky turns to green. So it is when we were in the balcony there and speaking and having this view was I will never forget this view, really. So Hovde is calling. There will be a lot of people in the introduction week trying to show you to how to stay in Sweden. You will meet a lot of new students there. We were more than 400 people in the first day, and we marched from the university to the city center to meet the mayor that day. So you will meet a lot of people. So be happy, be open to meet new people, go speak to everybody, and you will have the most beautiful time there. You will study, but the most important thing, you will meet a lot of friends and you will create a very good network. So here I am for any question, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Randy. It's so interesting we're talking about it, and it's like it's so cool with the aurora because I live in my stad that is 30 minutes away. I haven't seen it in my stad ever, so I think I might have to go to Skövde to be able to see it because I know that
Yes.
it happens now and then. It's so cool. It's sometimes I live a whole life thinking that this was something that was just available in the north, and then one of my colleagues started talking about no, it happens here, and I was like, that's so cool.
To tell you the truth, we were a little bit organized because there is an app where you can see
Ah,
what
Yes.
it's doing. So we were always gathering during those nights
mm,
and going to the Lingen or standing in the balcony, just
mm.
waiting for that moment. So we were we were looking for it, it was
That
amazing.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is. It's beautiful. I should do that. Perhaps Sarah, if we're yeah, because it's
Yes.
getting a bit dark, we can look for it
Hmm.
before we
Actually,
finish up
a
today.
tip is that because I'm obsessed with that app, I use it all the time. I
yeah.
love the auroras, but you
Yeah.
see it so much better in your phone. So even if you don't see it with your naked eye, because we're
Ah,
quite far south still, so if you're in the
yeah.
north, you can see it like really bright. But here, you might not
Mm,
be able to see it that bright. But if you use your phone, that one has like a different color setting, so it picks it
mm,
up
mm,
much more. So,
mm.
Karin, the next time you're outside and it says it's auroras, like just put your phone up and you might be able to see it.
Thank you. That's great advice. I always get so many amazing tips when our students are talking. So, and clearly my colleague as well.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, Lindsay. And one of them is when you came to Sweden, what were the most culture clashes that you experienced? You were like, oh, these Swedish people, they do like this.
Yeah, like as I said, I come from a metropole, and I came to Hovde, a small
Mm,
city, and I found out that everything was very well organized. Like everything
mm,
was clean. People were. This was shocking to me, like how
mm,
clean everything was. Yeah,
mm,
I'm talking about the streets, about the campus in general, for example, when it comes to university, about the apartments where I was living, everything was very, very clean and very well organized. And for example, in the accommodation, I found that like it was shocking how people were trying to support and to help
mm,
me from the
mm,
day one, right? Like I went to Hovde Bostade, I was living in Nora,
mm,
Drangalian, and the housekeeper there, he tried
mm,
to help me. He gave me a bed and some chairs. He was
mm,
like, "Hey, you need to feel like home. Come with me. I will help you to give you some stuff, So
mm,
I felt like I had friends from day one. I
mm,
had this feeling. And when it comes to, in general, generally speaking, like to Swedish people, I found out
mm,
that for the first days, I was feeling that they were not very helpful. Like in general, like they were not talking a lot because I was, hey, how are you? Giving my hand, trying to kiss everybody. So I was a little bit strange for them. But after that, I found out that if you unlock the Swedish heart, then you can be in paradise. Like they give you everything. They are very open and trying to help you all the time. And like I went to many cities because I met many Swedish people, and they were saying, "Hey, come to my village. Let's go to my meet my parents. We will have some dinner together." So all this, it's like I had very good friends, and I'm very, very happy for that. And still, and now I'm back to Greece, and they are calling, "Hey, already there is a vacancy. Come, please. Do you want to come back to Sweden?" They're trying to help each other.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
But also, I was thinking a bit, yes, what would be your best tips and advices for the students who are sitting here and be like, oh, I want to go to Sweden? If
Oh.
you would give your like top tips.
My top tips, it's are like what I did right and what I did
Mm,
wrong that other people can do it better than me, right? So what I did right is that I applied at once to have the Bastade through the webinars. I remember you and Andrea, you were saying, hey, go now, register because you
mm,
need to have a lot of points and so on. So this is my tip one, go and register to have the Bastade. So you will have a lot of points during the time that you will be applying for the accommodation. This is my tip one, because it will be very stressful if you are to go to Hovde and you have nowhere to live, right? So this is very important. Accommodation is number one, and the second and the most important is to if students are going to Hovde, they're going to be alone in the beginning, but everybody's going to be alone, right? So everybody is open to meet new friends. So just be yourself. Do not be shy. Bring the energy from your country, like everything you have from your background. Shine the light there, and you will meet other people that will be pleased to meet you. Like I met a lot of people from Pakistan, from India, from Nigeria, from Spain, like from Germany. And even if I was biased before I go there, I met them and I was, wow, what amazing people, like the hospitality and like the Indian food, for example, from Sri Lanka, they were cooking for us and we were like, oh my God, it's so good. And I thought that Indian food is not that good, you know, like the
Yeah.
bias. But when you meet people, you other cultures, it's like it's great. So just be yourself. Do not be shy of yourself. Go speak to everybody, and you will be loved, and you will love. So it's just be yourself. Yeah, do not be shy.
Thank you so much, Rendi. And if it's okay, Rendi, could you put your student ambassador email in the chat
Yes,
so
yes,
the students
absolutely.
can send you an email
Student ambassador
afterwards?
5, number 5.
Number 5, yes. That is perfect because, as mentioned, Rendi is one of our student ambassadors, and he is on our website. So he's one of the of our student ambassadors that answer questions. So you can always send him an email.
Yep.
So perfect. Well, thank you so much. It was an amazing
Thank
presentation,
you.
and it's so lovely to have you here. And well, we might see you in the digital open house. I'm not sure if you will be able to participate, but
Yeah.
if, then there will be a second chance for the students to meet you as
Yes,
well.
and please let me add some comments because on the previous questions that there were many people asking for the job market in Sweden, and in general, the job market is not like in Europe and in the world is not at its best. But if you are dedicated to finding a job, you can find a job. Like it needs to be, it's a little bit challenging, but if you are persistent, you will find a job in Sweden. So if you are a good student and you had good ideas and you want to be a good and a niche in your field, there are many opportunities. It's not very easy, like you will not be playing with the roles like to decide, but as a junior, there are many opportunities. So do not be afraid of doing this next step. It is the masters in Sweden are awarding, so do not be afraid to make this new step and don't and you will find something for sure. So
Thank you. And we got a question here. Rendi, from your experience, what was the most valuable part of the data science program at Skövde?
thinking in a different way, because in Balkans we like to be biased, you know, we take the extremes and we think in different ways. When it comes to data science, it taught me to look always at the data, to understand the data, and when you have some decisions, to be referred from the statistics to and I understood also that there are many problems in this world, like that we can automate and we can to find different tasks and combine different tools, and we can make something very valuable for people. Like, for example, just an easy example, like the reviews that we analyzed. We analyzed there 50,000 reviews, and we could get instantly to decide which is the best. For example, the best restaurant in the city. So we can easily take decisions much faster using AI and the data science. So it's when it comes to decision making, AI and data science is really a very good approach to have the best decisions. I don't know if it was if I
Thank
answered
you.
correctly. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Correct.
I can't see any more questions, but thank you so much for being here with us, Lindy, and thank you for participating. And we will continue with the webinar. And as mentioned, you can get in touch with Lindy as well through his student ambassador email. So I'm going to continue sharing, and we're going to now we have been talking about the student success story. And now we're going to get in more to how to apply. So we hope that we have been really inspiring so much now. So you really want to do the application. After 2 hours, you'll be like, yes, let's go. And so this is how you do it. And first of all, the application procedures. All application goes are made via universityadmission.se. You have to submit supporting documents. Non-European applicants must pay a fee of 900 Swedish crowns, application fee. And it's very important that you pay that because otherwise they will not look into your application. The first admission round is it's open now. It's open on the 16th of October until the 15th of January 2026. And remember, in Sweden, we're very strict with our deadline. So it is the 15th of January. Otherwise, it will be considering a late application. And some of our programs are not even open for late application because there are so many students applying. And I would say that is mainly within the field of informatics. So please do that and make sure that you also have all your priorities correct so that you have the program that you really want to study as your first priority and do not change the priority after the 15th of January because then it will be considered a late application as well. So after 15th of January, do not touch anything, basically. And yes, so the application is open. The deadline is in January, and in April, you will get the notification of selection results. And then afterwards, you have to pay for tuition fee and residence permit application. And you also need to, and the semester will start in August. So just some important deadlines. The 15th of January, application deadline. 2nd of February, application fee deadline. Those 900 Swedish crowns they need to be paid. On the 2nd of February, deadline to document fee exempt status, which means that if you are European citizen, then you will not need to pay a fee, and then you need to upload and show that you don't have to do that. And on the 2nd of February, it's also that you need to uploading all the supporting documentation. That's the deadline for that. So you can hand in your application and then you have 2 more weeks-ish to do these other things. On the 22nd of March, the admission results is published for the master programs, and the university will contact you if you need to reply to anything. And in August, the semester will start. Please use the QR codes as well. And the required documents for the master programs are the bachelor degree certificate, the original language, but also an official English language, not a ChatGPT. It needs to be a formal, stamped and all that kind of things. A full grade transcript all semesters, original language, official English translation. A proof of English skills, you need to have at least what we say in Sweden, English 6 level. Usually it could be IELTS or TOEFLs, and you can see country-specific requirements. You also need to have a copy of your passport and your final year. If you're studying at your final year at your bachelor, you need to have a statement of enrollment certificate, and that is something you can find here. I'm just going to show you really fast university admission. So when you come to university admission, you will have a lot of information. Apply to masters, a step-by-step instruction. Please check that out. We were talking a bit earlier about country-specific requirements. So the thing is, your application will first go through university admission. Then they will look into that you have the right criteria due to which country you have been studying in. And then they will look into here, the program coordinator, as well as our local admission, if you have the right criteria for the program. So it's like a 2-step way. But here you can check, for example, you come from India, then India Masters, then you can see if you meet the general entry requirement, then you can see here. And if you meet the English requirements, it will show here. If you don't meet the English requirements through previous studies, then you can reach it through an English test. So the English tests, you will find them here. It's like English test. You need to have 6.5. Here you can see that on the IELTS test, for example. Overall score that it will be 6.5. Here you find the TOEFL, IBT, a couple of more PTE, academic, and other things like that. So you need to check out that website. And then I'm just going to really fast go through the migration requirements. I just want to highlight that we really hope that all of you, of course, apply and get accepted. And then we'll have a pre-departure webinar where we will go through this way much more firmly. We're just giving you like a hint how it will look like. First, to be able to, if you, for example, if you come from a non-European country, then you need to have a residence permit for studies. And to be able to apply for that, you need to be admitted into full-time studies. Studies need to be campus-based. You need to be able to support yourself during the time that you're applying. You need to have a tuition fee paid before you send in the application. And I just want to highlight, if you come with your spouse or kids or anything like that, you need to make sure that you do the application for all of you at the same time. Otherwise, it will be way much more complicated. So important. Upon graduation, you have the possibility to apply for a residence permit, to look for a job, to internship, or to open your own business in Sweden up to a year. And Sarah, please tell us about the online activities.
Yes, of course. So if you guys are here today, which some of you might still be here, right? Not a lot of people have left. That's awesome. And I'm hoping none of you are asleep at this point. But let me tell you a little bit more about these webinars and online activities that we have. So if you're here today, you know we already have, or you already know that we have webinars. We have had most of our webinars at this point for most of our programs. We do have a few left, I think maybe one next week that you can sign up for in business and marketing. Yeah, we are also going to be hosting a digital open house on December 3rd. And I definitely recommend that you guys sign up for that. I'm going to leave the link for both the webinars and the digital open house sign up in the chat, because I know that our colleague Andrea, she sent out like 6,000 invites yesterday to the digital open house. And we have limited spots for that. So if you guys want to come to the digital open house, see us again, our colleagues there are going to be people from probably admission, the accommodation team. There are going to be students there. There are going to be representatives for all of the programs, and you're going to be able to ask more questions. So if you're debating between different programs, for instance, it's a really good idea to come to the digital open house, and you can just go online on Zoom like today, but there are going to be breakout rooms. And what that means is there are going to be specific rooms for specific programs. So there's going to be one room for data science, one room for bioscience, and you know the drill. So you can just move around in all the rooms and check out all the programs, talk to the program coordinators and all of that. So yeah, we also have a webinar coming up about how to make a successful application that you guys should definitely come to, because I know you guys have a lot of questions about making the application, and we want to make sure that you do it right so that you can come here to Skövde, of course. So you can sign up for that in the link that I sent in the chat as well. Other than that, we also have student ambassadors. You met Reddy here today. We also have these guys that are on this slide right here, as well as two more that I have not put in the PowerPoint presentation, but they are on our website. So if you go to the QR code right here, you can find all the information about the student ambassadors, and they are always wishing for you guys to email them. So send them a bunch of questions about basically anything, student life, accommodation, the specific programs. On the website, you can see what programs they are in. So they are absolutely the experts at this topic of being an international student, because they are in fact international students, all of them are. So yeah, get in contact with them. We also have a Study in Sweden ambassadors as well, and these guys are students that have been students at the University of Skövde, and they are now ambassadors for Study in Sweden. So you can read all about their stories in their QR codes on the screen right now as well. Yeah, and if you have any more questions after today, what can you do? Well, the best questions always come to you after the webinar is over, right? That's usually how it is for me, at least. And I really don't like that because then I don't know who to contact. So I'm going to give you the information right now. Our study team, we try to respond within 48 hours. Usually it might be a little bit longer than that, but we try to be quick. So I'm leaving it in the chat as well, so you can copy it. Just send us an email if you have any questions, and we'll try to help you as best as we can. Yeah, I think that's it, right, Karin?
That's it. We're really looking forward to welcome you to our university in August. So thank you for being here with us. And we're going to stop the recording for those who have been seeing, who will see the recording. We say thank you for being with us, looking at this webinar. And yeah, and then we'll, for those of you who are doing the live webinar, we'll continue with the Q&A afterwards. But thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching this webinar. Thank you, Wendy, for being here and talking about being a student. And thank you, Sarah, for helping out and advertising our beautiful and marketing our beautiful university.
Yeah, and thank you, Karin. You did a great job today.
Thank you, all of you.